Larry Connors USA. Larry Connors USA.
About 6 o'clock in the morning, there was a big bang, bang, bang on the door, and outside were seven FBI agents with a warrant for electronics. And I looked at the warrant, and I said, this is extraordinary because I've offered to give these to the government and talk it over with the government for 2 years. I don't know why they have to do this. The agents seemed somewhat apologetic, I might say. They were very, very professional and very gentlemanly.
That is Rudy Giuliani appearing on Tucker Carlson last night, talking about what happened at his New York City apartment the other day. As he said, at 6 a.m., there's a loud bang at the door. What the hell's going on? And he goes there, and there are seven FBI agents standing there. The purpose of the investigation and the document they brought, the subpoena, and what they were trying to find, as described by Giuliani, and of course he's an attorney, he could quickly see, well, why are you here? What's going on? He said, I looked at the warrant. He said, this is extraordinary. You want information about Ukraine and so forth? I've been trying to give this to the government and talking to them about it for the last 2 years. Now you show up at 6 a.m. and banging on my door. But you heard him say the agents were extremely professional, gentlemanly, and even almost apologetically. So why were they sent there, you think, at this point? Let's kind of replay this briefly. Let me see. Who got elected president? Oh, Biden got elected president. That's right, not Trump. And Biden has appointed various folks to different positions, like the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, who was going to be a Supreme Court justice if Obama had had his way. That didn't work out. And Merrick Garland heads up the Department of Justice. And if you follow the chain of command, it goes Department of Justice like this, several different, and one of them being the FBI. And at the very bottom of the FBI list, or near the bottom, you're going to find the agents. And I don't know where these agents are, but in New York, they're probably a little bit above the others. And somebody has said, we can prove that Rudy Giuliani violated U.S. law. What did he supposedly do? Well, they were claiming that he violated the Foreign Agent Registration Act, FARA, F-A-R-A, because he did not report activities they claim he had on behalf of Ukraine. Did not report that to the Justice Department. We're going to get into that in a lot more detail, but I'm sitting here thinking, somewhere in the back of my mind, maybe it's you too, I'm thinking Ukraine, foreign agent relationship. You know, I do remember that issue was raised in the ancient law that's never really been used, the Logan Act. Both things kind of came up, reference the general that was serving briefly with President Trump, General Flynn. Oh, I know. I just suddenly had this flash. I remember where I've heard that reference again involving Ukraine and anybody from the U.S. What's his name? It's Chase. No, that's not the first name. What his first name is Bow Wow. No, it's something. Cocker Spaniel. Hunter. He's a Hunter Biden. Man, I'm so good. I'm glad this week is coming to an end. I don't think I'd get through much more. My mind is slipping fast. I think it's probably that second Moderna shot I had. I'm joking. Don't anybody start filing lawsuits, and don't anybody turn away from the shots if you're going to get it. You do what you want and should do. I only did it because I told you I made a promise to my kids. But I have to admit, ever since there, my head's kind of been kind of fuzzy. It was proven last night in a poker game. I think I see a flush out there. There's no flush. I put a lot of money in on it. Thank God the other guy thought I had a flush. All right, out of that rabbit hole. Back to Hunter Biden. Yeah, Hunter, you wanted some information reference Ukraine and all the stuff that's been unveiled by that Hunter Biden laptop, which the New York Post said it had and started publishing, and the big tech companies, Facebook, Google, shut it down, said we're not going to allow you to use our platform to publish lies and create a conspiracy theorist. Now, they had no problem, of course, when it was a Russian collusion against Trump. And that's where the Giuliani thing comes in. So, again, here's Rudy Giuliani talking to these agents. He's seen the subpoena. He sees what they want. They made it very clear we're here to get some particular items. And he said they were very nice. But then, as he began to insist something, then they got upset.
The agents seemed somewhat apologetic, I might say. They were very, very professional and very gentlemanly. The only time they got perturbed is at the end of the search when they had taken about, I'd say, 7 or 8 electronic items of mine, which is what they took, and 2 of someone else's. They weren't taking the 3 hard drives, which, of course, are electronic devices. They just mimic the computer. I said, well, don't you want these? And they said, what are they? I said, those are Hunter Biden's hard drives. And they said, no. I said, are you sure you don't want them? I mean, the warrant required them to take it. And they said, no.
They said no. He said, the warrant says everything. I said, I'm reading this stuff. Everything I've got that might be pertaining to anything that you might want to know, you're supposed to take. And that's something you probably should have. Representative Adam Schiff, Democrat of California, talking about the raid on Giuliani's Manhattan apartment, he said, I'm delighted they have raided him. He said, what's disturbing to me, if there's probable cause to believe there's evidence of a crime at the Giuliani's business or home last year, and Bill Barr's Justice Department, under Trump, he's saying, wouldn't do anything about it. It's another indication of politicization at the very top of the Justice Department. Can you believe Adam Schiff would dare make a remark like that when he was overseeing all of the impeachment efforts against Trump, using FBI documents, which they knew were a lie, and they were getting wiretaps under various lies, and he wants to tell us that here's another indication that the Justice Department has been politicized. Not that we did it, but this time we're actually looking for justice. He said, again, Adam Schiff, Democrat, California, I'm delighted to see that under the new leadership of that department, decisions will once again be made equally under the law. Everyone will be treated the same under the law. No one will be given a pass. No one will be pursued for political reasons. I think Merrick Garland has exactly the right background for that approach. With that in mind, if they're really going to make sure no one is above the law, and Giuliani is saying, well, the subpoena says you want everything, you need to take the Hunter Biden stuff here, and the agents say, no. So if you're going to politicize such a raid, don't get anything that could turn around and be used against us. So let's go back to the scene again. Giuliani, shortly after 6 a.m. that morning, when the FBI agents are standing there, he's read the documents and said, okay, I'll get, well, you got all of these things, but what about these things? The Hunter drives, which you're right. You load everything you have on a computer on one of those little drives. Listen to what happened.
The warrant required them to take it. And they said, no. And one last time I said, don't you think you should take it to and they said no. Now, Hunter Biden's hard drives fall within the scope of the subpoena. The subpoena required them to take all electronics, but they decided to leave that behind. And they also were completely content to rely on my word that these were Hunter Biden's hard drives. I mean, they could have been Donald Trump's. They could have been Vladimir Putin's. They could have been anybody's. But they relied on me, the man who had to be raided in the morning, because I'm going to destroy the evidence. I've known about this for 2 years.
He's right. why wouldn't he be destroying the evidence? I mean, we've heard various reports that Hillary and her group knew how to destroy evidence. You can take a hammer to cell phones out on a parking lot, and they can pretty well be destroyed beyond repair. Of course, anything that got to the cloud, they might have trouble with. But here he is saying, you want your subpoena says everything electronic. Well, this electronic, you want it? No. Well, wait a minute. What is it? It has to do with the Hunter Biden laptop. No, we don't want that. Now, he is exactly right. Why? He probably should have said, everything you took out of here, it's also all the Hunter Biden stuff. What were they going to do then? Bring it all back in? They're going to accept his word? What a way out. Hey, I told them there was Hunter Biden thing, knowing they wouldn't take it. President Trump, I want you to know I protected that piece of evidence because all I had to do is say is Hunter Biden. They said, no, we don't want that. And now we can destroy it. Of course, that's not what's happening. But that doesn't sound like very good law work, does it? I don't want to call these FBI agents out directly, but I'm going to have to. If there's evidence, if your subpoena says everything and this is something here, you're supposed to take it. You don't reject it when you're told by the person you're serving the subpoena on, well, it has to do, I don't know, like Hillary Clinton on some of the emails she canceled, like planning a wedding, yoga exercises, curtains for the room. You remember all those excuses? And again, Giuliani is accused of basically working with Ukraine, a Ukraine official, violating the Foreign Agent Registration Act, which is a violation. And on Tucker Carlson last night, he addressed that specific point.
I've never represented a Ukrainian national or official before the United States government. I've declined it several times. I've had contracts in countries like Ukraine. In the contract is a clause that says I will not engage in lobbying or foreign representation. I don't do it because I felt it would be too compromising.
I think it would be also. Hunter Biden and Joe Biden didn't think so. When Joe Biden at the time was vice president, I'll remind you of that. So he said, I didn't do anything, but, and they won't take everything with it. He said, they were worried I was going to destroy anything that they took. Once again, Giuliani.
I could have destroyed the evidence a year. I didn't destroy the evidence because the evidence is exculpatory. It proves that the president and I and all of us are innocent. They're the ones who are committing. It's like projection. They're committing the crimes.
That's exactly right. And as he said, for 2 years, I tried to get the government to take these. And here you have Adam Schiff of California claiming that Bill Barr was covering things up. Well, Bill Barr didn't take that information then, and Rudy was trying to present everything. And the Adam Schiff information they wouldn't take, I want to go into this, not Adam Schiff, the Hunter Biden information they wouldn't take. We'll take a break. When we come back, I want to go back over some details of that. And are you going to tell me the FBI, the Justice Department, is not interested in that? When I just heard from Adam Schiff of California, the words are exactly, there will no longer be politics. It's going to not be politics anymore. No one will be given a pass unless you're Biden and Democrats. Stand by, please.
You can connect with Larry on Twitter @LarryConnorsUSA.